Hey guys, it's Mike from Missouri. We're back here on the pressure pot sandblaster build, and today we're going to work on the funnel or the lid part. And my idea for this, I'm kind of copying some of the commercial built units. I've been looking around on the internet, and they use some sort of device that has a seal on it and comes up and blocks off the opening, and the pressure in the tank pushes up on this, and that's what seals it off. So I got some of these preformed metal caps, and what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the center out of one. This is going to be the plug that seals it. Then there'll be a handle on it so you can pull it up, and then I'll put one of these sealing rings. I'll glue it to the inside here, and when this goes up, it'll make contact and seal off the hole. Then when you drain the tank off, you can push this back down, fill it up, and repeat the process. So let's get started. Okay, this is one of those caps I need to put a hole in. This is a outline of the hole in the tank, the lid here. So I'm thinking about how to do this, and I could use a hole saw, but I would really not be able to hold this tight without it spinning and catching, and I can't put it in a vise, otherwise it's going to deform it. So I think I'm going to have to freehand it with the plasma cutter, and then I can, I don't know, file it to make it smooth. So I think my best bet is to try the plasma cutter on this. I do have a spare in case I really mess it up, but that's what we're going to do. Well, it turned out all right, but it needs a fair amount of cleanup, but I think I can make this work. Okay, I got the die grinder here with carbide burr. I'm going to try to get this cleaned up reasonably well here. Hopefully this will kind of make sense now. Here's the hole I made. It's not exactly perfect, but it's going to be somewhat hidden by that. So this is a flange gasket. It's going to get glued in after I weld it on. This piece is going to come up, and that's going to seal the hole. Handle on here so you can pull it up. Gonna get welded on like that. This will be flipped upside down. So now we need to weld that on. Trying to think of a good way to test this, but I can't think of anything easily to test the weld for leaks. So I'm thinking about running a weld on the inside as well. I don't want it to interfere with the gasket's my only concern, but another weld inside will help confirm or extra insurance for leakage. I've got a package of goodies here from McMaster-Carr. Couldn't find any of these weld-in threaded bungs locally, so ended up having to order them. Three-quarter-inch Y also couldn't find locally. Clamps. Half-inch threaded bungs. And then while I was ready paying shipping, I got this pressure relief valve, and this is a pressure gauge. Yep. So the next step, I'm going to weld in the 3/4-inch bung to the bottom of the tank, and that's where the sand will get forced out of the pressurized tank gap. Okay, I'm just trying to get a center measurement here. Half. That will be where we put this 3/4-inch bung at. So we need to get a hole drilled in there, and then we'll weld that in. Well, it looks like we're going to rely on freehanding with the plasma cutter again, because I don't have a hole saw appropriately sized for this. There we go. Okay, we're going to tack this and then weld it all the way around. Okay, I got these fittings mocked up on here because I'm going to put some wheels about like this, and then there'll be a third leg here, a piece of steel, and that's how this is going to stand. But I'm going to use some square stock, one here and one here, to support the axle. And I need to know how high this needs to be, low, so it'll clear the ground when it's standing up. Okay, so I got this piece marked 36 inches long, and I want to cut it half of 45. So Yeah, I'm bad at math, but half of 45 where you put two of them together to make a 45-degree angle, and that'll be the upper handle. And I already cut one of these. So at the bottom of this will be the wheels. This will get welded on here. This is the top. This is where the funnel will be, and there'll be a crossbar for the handle. And there'll be two of these, one on each side. So I'm making the second one here. This is the axle shaft I'm going to use for the two wheels on the back, but it's too big. I'm going to turn it down the width of this hub, and that actually worked to my benefit because it'll give a shoulder there for the wheel to stop at. So I'm going to go over to the lathe and we'll get this turned down on both sides. Okay, I'm over here on my 12-speed Hendy. It's got the 3-jaw on it. I keep the 3-jaw on the 12-speed and the 4-jaw on the 18-speed. So we're just going to crudely take about another 1/4 inch off so there's room to, well, I could thread that and put a washer maybe. Let's just make it the same size, same width. Turn it on. A little bit faster speed. Really should have some support on the tail end, but that'll be good enough. I'll do it on the other side and that'll be good. I hope you can visualize what I'm going for here. Those will, and on the, this is the bottom of course, and then the other side I got those 45s cut. And that'll be angled backwards towards the operator for a handle. So need to figure out how wide we want to set these two pieces here and get this axle tube welded on so we can start piecing this together. Okay, I got the axle set up here on a Fireball tool square. I measured the distance from the bottom on each side and center the axle. Now I'm going to weld the axle shaft to the vertical uprights. Got the axle and wheels just kind of sitting there, this piece balanced. I welded the one angled handle on. I'm going to show you welding the other one, but this just gives you an idea of how this is going to be set up when it's finished. There's, I don't know, about a 4-inch clearance or so between the bottom of the piping and the bottom of the wheels, so it shouldn't drag on anything when I'm moving it around. But let's get to welding that other piece on. I'm going to again use that fireball square. It has a 45-degree angle on one side, so it works great to get this straight. So I'm going to weight this side down. So temporarily put it right there. Get this other piece lined up. Okay, this gives you an idea of my welding setup. So this square, it's got this 45, but these little tangs that are supplied with it allow you to get the sides flush. So make sure you don't, and make sure that this piece doesn't get off. It's pretty handy. Okay, I'm going to put a crossbar in here so you can hold it. I need to get a measurement for this piece down here where I got it welded solid at the axle. That way we're square all the way up. So it's 10 inches. We need to cut this piece. Actually, it's just a 1/16 under 10 inches. I think that'll be plenty good for what we're doing. So we're just going to clean this up a little bit and we'll weld that in. There's the handle. Okay, I'm at the point where I need to glue this rubber gasket on before I weld this top to the tank. I got some contact cement I've had forever. I don't know if it's even good, but I'm going to clean the top of this with some rubbing alcohol first. Same with the seal. Okay, let's get this opened up. I know this is at least 10 years old. Yeah. It's still soft. I don't know if that's gonna work or not. I better get my gloves back on. Contact cement, you always apply it to both sides of the surface and then stick them together. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work or not. I don't think I'll be waiting or needing to wait for this to dry because it's at that sticky stage where you pretty much stick them together. Set that up there. Okay. Well, that's not working so well. It doesn't want to stay down. I wonder if I'm gonna have to set some weight on that overnight. I think I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna let it sit, put some weight on it overnight, see if it stays. Okay, it's the following morning. We're gonna see if this contact cement here is gonna work for us. Seems to be adhered pretty well. I think that's gonna work. I'm gonna get these wheels tacked on, or this wheel handle assembly tacked on. I got the tank resting on that access port. To get this squared. And this is pretty unnecessary, but only takes a second. So I'm going to mark where this makes contact to the tank, and then I'm going to clean it off with a wire wheel so I can weld the clean metal in a couple areas. But I'm just going to tack it on now because I don't know if it's going to get in the way of me welding this cap on properly here. I think I got enough room, but being this is a pressure vessel, I want to make sure I get a good weld on that. So I'm just going to tack it for now, but I want to be able to make that the third leg that comes off right here. So take this off. Now I can see where I need to clean the paint off. I got some round tube left over from a project. It's already got a angle cut on it, and it kind of fits the shape of this tank. So I'm gonna try to figure out about how long it needs to be, but I want to put a pad on the foot also. Let's see here. I'm gonna mark the floor. This is where my wheels are. So roughly there, and then I'll make it about a 1/4 inch shy of that so I can weld a pad on this leg so it doesn't dig into the ground so much. So we're going to cut it there and see how we end up. Okay. I'm trying to block this up. It's too high. That's too low. Well, maybe not. Try to get that roughly level, and then I can figure out where I want that foot to be. Believe it or not, that's really close. Okay, I'm gonna cut a foot pad for the bottom of the leg, and I'm just gonna use that old scrap piece I cut the access cover out of. Traced a circle on here, and I'm just gonna cut it out quick. Okay, I'm going to use a step bit to drill a hole in the tank here. This is going to be for the air bleed off valve. About all this drill can do. Finally. I need to put this last half-inch port right here. While I'm there, I'm going to get rid of the rest of the sticker. All right, based on how hard that step bit was to cut this hole, I'm just going to plasma cut this one out. There we go. Well, we're down to the last part here as far as the welding of the tank goes. Got this seal glued in here. If I ever do need to replace it, you can get to it from there. I am going to kind of align the original seam. Well, yeah, it definitely fits better with the original seam lined up. Just a little gap there, but nothing to be concerned about. That'll fill in. So I'm going to run a wire wheel around here one last time, and I think we'll be ready to weld. So we're going to tack weld this in a few spots before we weld it, and then just as I've done on the others, I'm going to lay it down where I can weld flat. to get the best weld possible, and then we'll air test it. Well guys, I lied to you. I'm not going to get to pressure testing it in this video. I don't have a gasket for the access port. So this is as far as we're going to get. Give you a good look at the weld. So it's coming along. I got another shipment of parts coming in today, and that should be the last of what I need. And in the next video, we'll get this thing finished up, painted, and the first trial. So hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.